don't want you in my room.
It is not your shoes.
Wrong, clever. It is my shoes.
Congratulations, fellas. You did such a spectacular job in Song of Names. Playing violin, learning to play violin, and the accents. So talented, it's annoying.
There was a lot going on. There was a lot of practical learning. Luke is an unbelievable violinist, so that aspect we could all kind of learn from him and draw on his talent. But yeah, the Polish accents was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah. We had a great dialect coach, though, didn't we?
How did you get a grip on it?
On the Polish accent.
Yeah.
A lot of it can be. So you obviously have to learn the specifics, but a lot of it can be broadened to. So, for example, we English people, it's a bit like musical phrases actually. We English people speak up and then we finish the sentence and we speak down.
Right.
But our dialect coach Sandra Brushworth told us to speak up, and then a lot of Polish people finish the sentence like that instead of finishing it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which for you must have been good, because that kind of musical reference must have been.
Yeah, it helped.
You were at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was building blocks. We started out with, little sounds and little musicalities, and we worked for a few weeks. I mean, it was interesting because it wasn't as simple as Luke and I and Clive just kind of having exactly the same accent. We wanted to have continuity, but we also were at very different places in our lives in the film.
Right.
And so when Luke arrives, he is, he's just there. He's just learning English, so he has quite a thick accent. When we meet me, it's a little less. And then when Clive is there, he's not giving too much away. He's American as well. He's been in America for ages. So it was an interesting challenge trying to find the things that really connected us all together, but also finding the individuality.
Again, without giving too much away, were you surprised? How did you feel about what became of your characters?
Well, it was a resolution for Dovidal. I mean, I've said before, it came at a cost, but it's something that he'd been trying to find his whole life, and that was the way he had to end up, with him involving himself in the community and leaving his individualism behind. I guess that felt like the logical conclusion for Dovidal, I think.
Yeah, it did. He had a lot of attitude always.
Yeah.
A lot of great self-confidence.
Yeah.
And I guess the traumas must have just solidified that in him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gave him a lot of thought.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Big job.
Yeah, it's quite challenging, trying to immerse yourself in the character.
And
Yeah.
first job. I know. Yeah. I mean, ridiculous. First ever job.
Wow. Here.
Yeah.
Thank
right?
you.
What are you going to follow this with?
I know. You can't just walk into anything now, dude. You need to. You kind of have to raise the game each time. You've started very high, so now.
Maybe tennis next.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, you always have to have some kind of specific, brilliant talent in each of your films.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Horseback riding. That's the beauty of acting, right? That you can learn and do so many things that you would never get a chance to do.
You acquire some skills along the way.
Yes.
Some of them are more useful than others. I kind of like a grade 3 level of violin, may or may not come in handy again, but and indeed my Polish accent. But there are some which are good. Yeah.
That's cool. I spent some time in Warsaw, just 10 days or so for the film festival, and I loved the people. They were so warm and wonderful, but you could always tell that there was tragedy. Somehow there's an attitude.
That's in Dovidal for sure. There's so much flair and bravado and talent there, and so much self-confidence, but it's very much grounded in pain and loss and huge amounts of grief. So that was kind of interesting for us to play with, because like with many people who have that kind of level of self-assurance and flair, it's also very much kind of restricted as well, which is a good melting pot, I think, for an actor, I think, to play
The
with.
story's so complex, and when you were shooting your parts, obviously you'd probably read the entire scripts, but did you just have to block that out when you were doing your respective parts?
So I guess you mean to think about being the character. Yeah, being in the moment, like Francois said, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely not thinking about acting. I guess just thinking about being the character. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very interesting. Of course, you and Martin have such a a relationship of animosity to begin with, and it's kind of melted with fighting, which I thought kind of cute and really age appropriate. So, how was that just when it turned?
I really, it was great, kind of, with Misha, who plays younger Martin, just kind of creating that kind of change in the relationship between Doyle and Martin. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And you guys got on so well.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was probably harder the opening bits where you're trying to pretend like you hate each other.
Yeah.
It got easier as it went
But they
on.
were doing this fake fighting.
Yeah.
Oh
Which
yeah.
was so cute.
That, yeah,
So
yeah.
good,
That's
wasn't
one of
it?
my favorite bits.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very good, very good.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away too much, but there's a moment when you failed a show for a show, but there was a reason that has reverberations way down the road. Was that kind of special to you?
Yeah, it was. It was special. It was kind of daunting as well. Any scenes of high emotion are exciting because it's thrilling and it encourages you to be emotionally open. But it's also quite daunting. But we had, Francois is an amazing director and a real actor's director. He really, I think, understands what you need, and he's so respectful of everyone's process and what everyone kind of needs to get there on the day. So I felt pretty confident knowing that he was going to be there and that we were safe in his hands.
That's great. I see you on the bus, and your face is just runs the gamut of emotions.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Have either of you seen Francois' The Red Violin?
Yes.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
It's great. Yeah.
Do you
I
think
really
he's
enjoyed
obsessed
it.
with violins?
I think he has a thing with violins.
I
Yeah.
think so.
I think that's his thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why. Violins are great instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the beautiful sound. The sound in the film is tremendous.
I know. And we watched it
The high notes.
in that beautiful symphony hall last night in front of 2,000 people at the Royal Thompson.
Oh my goodness!
So
yes.
it was. Yeah, it was a really special place to see it, and I was seeing it for the first time, and it felt fitting for the film. It's a tearjerker. It is. It's very emotionally.
But it's authentic. It's very
Really,
authentic.
it's
and
not
rooted in
gratuitous,
history,
and
you know.
it feels real, and it feels it's not emotionally manipulative. I think it feels very, very real, and yeah, I think it's. I was really taken with it. It's hard when you watch a film that you've worked on because you feel so in it and so invested in it, but I was able to. I tried to look at it objectively, and I was really taken in by it. By Tim Roth, who kind of takes us on the journey. I was really with him and with his detective story. Yeah.
And I'd never heard of the Song of Names, which I guess is wow. Now I have.
Beautiful music by Howard Shaw.
Great
Yeah.
music. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, both
Thanks.
of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.